The sacredness of your story is something that cannot be overstated, because within it lies the map of every choice, every challenge, and every transformation you have ever lived. Each experience you carry is not random. It has shaped your spirit, carved out your character, and taught you lessons that no one else on this earth could fully comprehend in the same way. To share such a story is not a small matter. It is to reveal the essence of who you are, and therefore it must be treated with care and reverence. Imagine your story as a seed. If you plant it in fertile soil, nourish it with the right attention, and allow it to grow in silence, it will one day bloom into something magnificent. But if you scatter it carelessly on barren ground, exposed to those who do not value its potential, the seed loses its power and withers before it has the chance to become what it was meant to be. When you speak about your struggles, your growth, or your victories, you're not simply recounting events, you're sharing your energy. And energy, when given away too quickly or too often, loses its strength. Many people reveal their stories prematurely in the hope of validation, approval, or encouragement. But instead, they receive judgment, envy, or misunderstanding. And when that happens, something sacred within them begins to feel doubted, even by themselves. This is why it is said that not every story needs to be told at the moment it happens. Because sometimes the silence of keeping it within yourself gives it the strength to mature. A tree does not announce the growth of its roots. It simply grows quietly until one day its presence can no longer be ignored. The sacredness of your story is also tied to its uniqueness. No one else has walked through your specific fire, felt your exact pain, or carried your exact dreams. That means your story has value beyond measure. To hand it out carelessly to those who do not understand is like offering a rare gem to someone who only sees a stone. Your story deserves to be shared with those who can honor it, learn from it, and maybe even be inspired by it. But it must not be thrown into the hands of those who see your truth only as gossip or entertainment. Your story is a way of protecting your soul. There is a quiet power in holding back, in allowing your story to be yours first. Before you open your mouth to tell it, ask yourself, does this person deserve to hear my journey? Do they have the wisdom, the kindness, the strength to understand it? Or will they distort it, drain it, or diminish it? The answers to those questions decide whether your story remains sacred or becomes wasted energy. A story told to the wrong person can become a burden, but a story shared with the right one can become a bridge. And the truth is, sometimes the story does not need to be told at all. It only needs to be lived. Energy is not only what you feel within. It is also what you release into the world with every word, every gesture, and every thought. When you overshare your story, when you tell too much of your journey to too many people, you are not just giving information, you are leaking energy. Each detail, each emotion, each struggle that you speak about takes away a portion of the inner strength that could have been used to keep you moving forward. Think of it like carrying water in a vessel with cracks. The more cracks it has, the faster the water drains out, and the less nourishment remains to sustain you. Oversharing creates these cracks, leaving you wondering why you feel weak, drained, or unsupported, even though you have spoken so much. Many people fall into the trap of talking about their dreams, their struggles, or their next big step before it is even complete. They do this in the hope of encouragement, but what they often don't realize is that words can create the illusion of progress. When you talk about your goals as if they are already accomplished, your mind feels a sense of relief and satisfaction, as if part of the work has already been done. But in reality, nothing has been achieved yet. Energy that could have been directed into action has been wasted in unnecessary explanations. That is why so many start with enthusiasm but fail to finish. They have spent their power on words instead of actions. Oversharing also invites unwanted energy from others. Not every listener responds with positivity. Some may silently doubt you, others may envy you, and some may project their own fears onto your path. All of these reactions carry energy, and once you have shared your story, their energy becomes part of your journey. Suddenly, what felt like clarity turns into confusion. What felt like determination turns into hesitation. This is the hidden cost of giving away too much of yourself through words. You inherit not only your own emotions, but also the shadows of others. There is wisdom in conserving your energy, in speaking less and acting more. Silence is not weakness. It is preservation. When you choose to keep your story within, you create a reservoir of strength that is untouched by outside influence. That reservoir gives you the focus and clarity to move forward without distraction. When the time is right, when the seed of your journey has blossomed into fruit, you can choose to share the outcome. By then, your results will speak louder than your words ever could. Until that moment arrives, understand that your energy is your greatest currency, and every time you overshare, you spend it on people who may never return its value. Protect your energy, and you will protect the power of your story. Not everyone who listens to you listens with a pure heart. Some people may appear interested, nodding and smiling as you speak. But deep within, they are measuring you, comparing you, or even silently hoping that you fail. This is one of the hardest truths to accept, that not all ears deserve to hear your truth, and not all minds are free of envy or judgment. When you share your story with the wrong person, you unknowingly open the door for doubt and negativity to enter your path. Their words may sound harmless, but the energy behind them can plant seeds of hesitation in your mind. Suddenly, what once felt like certainty now feels like uncertainty. And what once felt like progress now feels heavy with second-guessing. Some people listen not because they care, but because they want to know your weaknesses. They listen for cracks in your journey, details they can use against you, or ways they can feel superior to you. Others may listen with curiosity, but without understanding. And when they fail to understand the depth of your struggle, they may respond with careless words that cut, dismiss, or reduce the significance of what you went through. When this happens, your sacred story loses its dignity. Not because it has less value, but because it has been placed before those who cannot honor it. Even those closest to you may not always listen with the intention of supporting you. Sometimes, they project their own fears onto your path. You tell them about your dream, and instead of encouragement, you hear warnings, doubts, or stories of failure. But what they are really showing you is the reflection of their own limitations, not the reality of your potential. If you are not careful, you might start to carry their fears as if they were your own. This is how many people unknowingly lose confidence, not through their own doubts, but through the doubts they have absorbed from others. This is why discernment is so essential. To discern is to see clearly who deserves to hear your truth and who does not. It is to understand that your story is not meant for every ear, because not every ear listens with compassion and purity. Protecting your story is not about distrust, it is about wisdom. It is knowing that your journey is too important to be weighed down by the judgments or envy of those who cannot walk it with you. The truth is, the fewer people who know the intimate details of your path, the freer you are to walk it without unnecessary burdens. Those who truly love you, those with pure intent, will never need every detail to stand by you. And those who demand your story but do not honor it were never meant to be part of your sacred circle. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness. But in reality, it is one of the strongest shields you can carry on your journey. When you hold back your story, when you choose not to reveal every detail of your struggles and your dreams, you are not hiding, you are protecting. Silence is not emptiness. It is focus. It is power. It is clarity. It keeps you centered in your own path instead of being pulled into the noise of opinions, judgments, and distractions. Think about a warrior sharpening his blade. He does not announce it to the world. He does not boast of what he will do. He prepares in silence, and when the moment arrives, his actions speak with undeniable force. That is the essence of silence. Allows your growth to happen without interference until it is strong enough to show itself. When you remain silent about your goals, you also keep your energy concentrated. Every word spoken about your plans is energy dispersed, but every moment of silence is energy preserved. This preservation creates intensity. Like a river flowing within narrow banks, it grows stronger, faster, and more unstoppable. Silence directs your focus inward where it belongs and prevents the distraction of external voices that might weaken your resolve. It is not about keeping secrets out of fear. It is about maintaining the purity of your intentions. Silence also builds mystery, and mystery builds strength. When people cannot easily read you, when they do not know your every step, they cannot interfere with it. They cannot project their fears onto you. They cannot plant seeds of doubt, and they cannot measure your progress before it is complete. Your silence becomes a shield that guards you from unnecessary interference, and a sanctuary where your vision can grow untouched. The most powerful transformations often happen in silence. Think of the seed beneath the soil, the caterpillar within the cocoon, the mountain forming deep within the earth. None of these announce their progress, yet when the time comes, their presence is undeniable. In silence, you also cultivate self-reliance. You learn to trust yourself more deeply because you are not constantly seeking validation or reassurance from others. Your confidence comes not from their approval, but from your inner clarity. Silence teaches you patience because it reminds you that not everything needs to be shown or told immediately. It allows you to grow roots before you grow branches, too. Build strength before you display it. And when the time finally comes to share your story or show your results, they will not need explanation. They will radiate truth so strongly that others will feel it without words. To choose silence is to choose strength. It is to say, I do not need to explain myself to the world because my life will explain itself in time. This is not avoidance, it is wisdom. It is the discipline of knowing that your story deserves to grow in peace, away from the noise of careless ears, until it has the power to inspire not through what is spoken, but through what is lived. Your story is not just a collection of events, it is sacred energy, shaped by every struggle you have endured, every lesson you have learned, and every victory you have claimed. To share it carelessly is to give away something sacred to those who may not honor its value. Think of a treasure chest filled with rare jewels. Would you place it in the middle of a crowded street for anyone to take, admire, or damage? Or would you keep it safe, guarded, revealed only to those who truly understand its worth? In the same way, your story must be protected. It is not for everyone, because not everyone can carry its weight or treat it with the reverence it deserves. When you give your story to people who cannot understand it, they may reduce it to something ordinary, dismiss it as unimportant, or even twist it into something it is not. But when you protect it, you preserve its purity. This does not mean you must remain silent forever. It means you must become selective. Share your sacred story only with those who have shown they can listen without judgment, who can hold your truth without turning it into gossip, comparison, or doubt. Your story is also the blueprint of your growth. Every detail you reveal becomes a map for others to trace. Some may use that map to follow your steps with respect, but others may attempt to use it to block your path, to anticipate your moves, or to undermine your efforts. By guarding your story, you prevent others from gaining control over the direction of your life. Your silence ensures that your journey remains guided by your own hands, not influenced or interrupted by the opinions or actions of others. When you treat your story as sacred, you also begin to see yourself with greater respect. You recognize that everything you have endured has meaning, that every scar carries wisdom, and that every victory is a testament to your resilience. This perspective shifts the way you carry yourself. You no longer feel the need to seek validation through oversharing because you understand that the value of your journey does not depend on how many people know it, but on how deeply you live it. In protecting your sacred story, you cultivate strength, patience, and wisdom. You allow your experiences to mature within you before you place them in the hands of others. And when you finally do share, whether with one person or with the world, your story will carry a power so authentic and undeniable that it will inspire without needing explanation. To protect your story is not to hide it, is to honor. It is to acknowledge that your journey is sacred ground, and not every footstep deserves to walk upon it. When the time comes to share your story, you will feel it deep within, a sense of readiness that is calm, not rushed, certain, not forced. This is the moment when silence transforms into power, when your protected journey is finally unveiled to inspire others. Sharing at the right time is not about proving yourself to anyone. It is about allowing your story to serve a greater purpose. You see, your struggles were not only for you. They were shaping you, yes, but they were also preparing you to become a light for those walking in darkness. And when you share your story at the right moment, it no longer feels like exposure, it feels like service. The power of timing cannot be underestimated. A fruit picked too early is bitter. A flower opened too soon withers quickly. But when you wait, when you allow your journey to fully bloom, your story carries a ripeness that nourishes everyone who receives it. The right timing ensures that. You are not speaking from open wounds, but from healed scars. And healed scars hold power. They are evidence of resilience, not just survival. When you share from this place of strength, your story no longer invites pity. It invites respect. It no longer triggers doubt. It sparks belief. Those who hear it feel possibility awaken within them, because your voice does not carry desperation, it carries wisdom. Your story becomes more than personal. It becomes universal. The pain you once held in silence transforms into guidance for those still walking through theirs. And here is where the true beauty lies. By waiting for the right moment, you protect both yourself and those who will listen. You ensure that your words uplift rather than burden, that your story empowers rather than drains. You become a living example that silence has purpose, that patience has meaning, and that every struggle can one day be turned into light. At the right time, your story will no longer need to be defended, justified, or explained. It will stand on its own, radiating truth that even those with closed hearts cannot deny. And in that moment, you will realize why you were guided to hold it close for so long, because now, instead of being a fragile seed, your story has grown into a mighty tree, offering shade, strength, and inspiration to countless souls. This is the power of timing. When you no longer chase to be heard, but allow your truth to speak when it is ready, your story becomes unstoppable. The lesson hidden within all of this is simple, yet powerful. Not every truth you carry is meant for every ear. Your story is a living flame, and if you hand it to those who cannot hold fire, they will either burn themselves or attempt to extinguish it. Silence is not weakness. It is wisdom. Protection is not secrecy. It is strength. Your journey deserves patience. Your story deserves reverence. And your growth deserves the space to unfold without interference. When you hold your story with care, you honor everything you have endured. When you protect it, you preserve the sacredness of your transformation. And when the right moment arrives, you will not need to force your story into the world. It will emerge with such clarity and strength that it will inspire without effort. So, do not tell everyone your story. Instead, live it fully. Let your actions reveal what your words cannot. Let your silence build the strength your voice will one day carry. And when you finally choose to speak, let it be from a place of power, not need from wisdom, not wounds. Because your story is not just something you tell, it is something you embody. And when lived with integrity, it will never need an introduction, the world will feel it. This is the true meaning of protecting your story, to live it so deeply, so authentically, that when the time comes to share it, nothing more needs to be said.